Today we're looking at the section of the show where we look at the daily du'as. One of the things that impacts us or society is anxiety, this fear of future events, and we have a special du'a related to grief, to sorrow, and to anxiety.
Definitely, and I think this is something that will benefit everybody.
Inshallah.
There's nobody who is anxiety-free. Part of life, and to talk about more about this dua, we'd like to welcome Sayyid Haydar Jazani.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum.
Inshallah, you guys doing well this morning?
Alhamdulillah.
How are you?
Yeah, not bad.
Bright and chirpy.
Feeling bright and chirpy.
The struggles of the miserable and the weather, but alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
No anxiety though.
No, inshallah not. Inshallah not.
But this is for those occasions where.
Yeah, no, alhamdulillah. I mean, coming across this dua. Kind of giving me the shivers. I've been through anxiety before, and anxiety is something that stays with you. But alhamdulillah, shukr, once you get over it, you do get over it. But it's just something that's always going to stay in your mind constantly.
So do you think with this dua, this is something? So say some people are going through anxiety at the moment, and they may be getting different forms of help and counselling, etc., or talking to friends, however. But do you think this dua is something that should be recited sort of on a daily basis, or when you feel the anxiety? How would you...
I mean, all these ad'iyah should be recited whenever you can, to be honest. It's hard to memorize all of these ad'iyah. I mean, we've been speaking about 20, 25 plus ad'iyah. And it's very difficult to keep up with every single one of them, remember every single one of them every single time, try to recite this one at this time, and it's very difficult. But there are some where you recite it at the time. Like when I remember I used to wake, when I used to wake up in the middle of the night, I found my dad praying in my room, and he's reciting like ad'iyah and stuff like that, because the time that I was going through it. When you wake up, a person who has anxiety, you wake up in the middle of the night panicking and stuff sometimes.
So he was reciting to alleviate.
He was there, yeah, he was there at times, I used to wake up and used to see him, just sitting there literally praying, reciting and stuff like that.
Only a parent can do that.
Yeah, alhamdulillah, I mean, the parents are a blessing, are a proper blessing. So anxiety is probably the most dangerous thing in the world, because it leads to different, it leads to cancer, it leads to different kind of
all sorts
physical,
of
physical stomach ulcers and other mental and emotional problems.
Depression and
even
very linked to depression.
It'll literally kill you off.
Is it Imam Ali says that half old age is grief or something, stress?
Yeah, so half of your shab, half of your when you get old, half of the reason that's going to kill you is grief of what's happened in your whole life, something you can't take. Anxiety is it's in your mind, it's in your brain, and that's why it's probably the most dangerous thing, because you're using so much energy inside your brain thinking about one thing over again, and it's like a washing machine just tumbling in your mind. This causes other things. It causes your brain to forget about other things that's working to protect your body. And that's where, different illnesses can come along.
And I think this the most difficult thing about anxiety is, while we're going through it, we may stay up at night and there's different symptoms, but I think it's when the symptoms of stress or anxiety develop and they start to show. So different people have different how your body will react to it, because even though it's a psychological thing, it's going to have a physical output. So when you're having, so you're saying the stomach ulcers, even heart disease, one of the risk factors is stress, and you think these are all ailments that, once we're there and you've gone through something so extreme that it's keeping you up at night, it's giving you physical ailment, we've really done some damage to ourselves.
Of course.
And I think because we inhibit it, it's within us, and I think it's just such a scary.
And this what's scary about it is it's all with the power of our own minds. It's our imagination, because anxiety isn't that the thing which we fear is pending doom. It's not that it's happened. It's just a thought that it might happen, and we torture ourselves, you could say. We torment ourselves.
No, definitely. Even this dua, when you actually read it, the meanings of it is, "Oh Allah, I seek refuge in you from worries and grief." This is part of anxiety, from helplessness and laziness. Helplessness and laziness and loneliness. Because when you're lonely and you have no one to speak to, this is a key fact of having anxiety. Or helplessness and laziness as well.
The lack of.
When you feel helpless.
Yeah.
When you feel like you have no use of yourself in life whatsoever, you start stressing about these kind of things. From cowardness and stinginess. And from overpowering of depth, and from the oppression of men. Men, it doesn't mean like physically just men and women, just beings. In a whole.
Yeah.
Because that's the main reasons why you probably get anxiety. Is either from what someone said to you, what someone's done to you, what someone's did, how you think of it. If you're alone by yourself, you have no friends, depression. And then that slowly leads to different things, heart attack, strokes, all of these kind of things.
I wanted to just touch on the thing about loneliness, because one of the things that's such a blessing when you're part of community or you have friends or confidants, that even when you're going through things, just the ability to talk and offload something that's concerning you, something that's worrying you, that can be like a medicine in itself.
Exactly.
To have those kind of people in your life.
Trustworthy.
Exactly. You got things like the Muslim Youth Helpline, or you got different helplines, or different, the Samaritans, whatever it is, but places where people can phone, because there's some people that they're going through a problem, they're so ashamed, they think they've destroyed their life, and they contemplate even bleak things like suicide.
Yeah.
So, and that part of that is loneliness and feeling like nobody will understand me. I'm such a bad person and I've ruined myself. The best thing for me to do is to check out, and that's definitely not the right thing to do.
But that's what these things lead you to. Leads a lot of people towards suicide.
In extreme cases.
And it's getting worse, isn't it?
It's getting worse. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't know if it was recorded last year. Prison suicide rates was about 8 people that year. 8 people who's actually killed themselves due to loneliness, due to stress,
and that won't include those suicide attempts that happened, that they were able to they were unsuccessful attempts, let's put it that way. There would have been many more than that.
Of course. I mean, they are trying to crack down on it.
But it's such a, you're a professional in this field as well, aren't you? And obviously your take would be more educated, but even the cases that I come across in my professional life, and it's so frightening when you hear about young people who are persistently admitted into hospital. They've slashed their wrists, and it's for the family, it's just another case. They've done it again, okay, and then they go through it. Eventually they just do it. They don't.
Exactly.
They're adamant to get to that other side, and you think, what did that person go through? And while children may be left behind, parents may be left behind, but what did that person, that's a victim.
What was missing, what was empty, what wasn't right in that person's life, because that's quite extreme. That's not our natural default button as human beings, regardless of black or white, rich or poor, Muslim, non-Muslim. That's not our natural default button.
Of course.
It's just so tragic. And in this life that, did a system fail them? What was it that went wrong? And I think, alhamdulillah, for these kind of, du'as and in terms of in a professional way, I'm sure there's lots of places that people can reach out to, but
absolutely,
in context of this, it'd be nice to hear the dua.
Inshallah.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم إني أعوذ بك من الهم والحزن، وأعوذ بك من العجز والكسل، وأعوذ بك من الجبن والبخل، وأعوذ بك من غلبة الدين وقهر الرجال برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
So it is a very sensitive subject. It's a very sensitive dua. Always when we are praying no matter what we do after praying, we always have to remember those who are less fortunate than we are in terms of their health. Because, you know, a person's health, dying through illnesses, having being ill during your life is probably one of the harshest tests a human being can go through, because this will test your patience, test your faith, your belief. A lot of people crack down as soon as they get into an illness or something like that. They're like, we've prayed so much, it didn't work, why should we carry on praying? Sometimes it's written for you to be sick, and sometimes it's written for you to give your life in that way. But, you know, having these du'as, I think, connects us even closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to make us realize, like, for a person to actually put his hand up and pray for another person's shifa, that's a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's given you that softness in your heart to remember someone else when they're ill, which is very important.
But I think even in as in anxiety, I mean, there's we don't know what others go through as well. We don't know that, you know, somebody, what pain they conceal behind a smile. I don't know if when you went through something, you know, did you tell people? You know, it's something that some people can harbour in their hearts, and to show that sort of compassion towards one another, that somebody's a bit quieter, maybe, you know, reach out and give a friendly voice, and perhaps somebody will open up to you that, you know, we don't know. But I was just thinking that as you recited that, how peaceful it was to listen. And even with Quran, that has, you know, it has remedy, doesn't it?
It's a medicine.
And even to listen to that can give a sense of peace to people that may be going through some difficulty in their life. That,
of course, I mean, look, any kind of difficulties you have in your life, when you leave it into Allah's hands, it kind of takes away the pain.
Yeah.
When you leave something in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's hands, and you actually truly believe that you've left it into His hands, then it takes a massive weight off your shoulder. You know, anyone that, you know,
anyway, you're carrying something.
Exactly.
You're carrying.
It's like, you need a person to help you carry this.
Exactly. I don't know if maybe we'd all be able to relate, viewers as well. Like when you've really been angry with somebody, and whether they have apologized, whether the issue's been resolved, but you say, you know what, Allah, I can't carry this no more, and for you, I let it go. I let it go, and it's like a weight, a spiritual, you know, cloud has come away from you, because you're not carrying it anymore. Just
anger's building up, isn't it?
I'll leave it with you, Allah. You resolve it. I can't. And this is too big. I'll just leave it there.
You give him your tawakkul. You know, like with me, as we mentioned earlier in different episodes, that we have wasila through Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have the people that He loves. Sometimes I leave my things in al-Bani's hands. I have a special connection with Abu Fadl Abbas and al-Banin. Now, sometimes when I have a haja, when I have something that I'm stuck with, when I have, for instance, for us, the smallest and has nothing to do with anything, example, a speeding ticket when you're driving. Yeah, speeding ticket. Ya al-Banin, ease this upon me.
She'll be like, oh, Haber's had another speeding ticket.
No, but like, you're like, you know, my life depends on my driving.
Yeah.
You know? And Ya al-Banin, I've left this in your hands. You don't think about that no more, honestly.
So what happens?
You just wait for the letter. It will come and surprise you. But you just don't listen. You know, you're giving that tawakkul. You don't think of it until until it actually comes in your post, and it turns out to be a small course that you have to do, and £100 fine maybe, or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, it could have been a lot worse. It could have been
It could have been a lot worse.
And like a ban for 2 years, where you're doomed. That's it. But I'm talking about everything really. Like me, I've had hajat where I'm like, Ya al-Banin, I've left it in your hands. I don't know what to do no more.
Oh, people have had miracles.
Honestly, I've experienced it. Yeah. Miracles. Especially with Abu Fadl Abbas as well.
Yeah.
Look,
these personalities are just...
His personality is something else.
Yeah.
And me, I don't know if I'm blessed to do Arba'in every single year, because I'm at work, and I work with other Shia brothers, and other people want to go Arba'in. I can't just go by myself every year. It's very selfish of me. But I'm like, before I leave Karbala, this time I went. For the first time I ever went was in 2011, and I've been going every year since. How? except this year that I missed for the first time, and I was depressed, never missing it again. So I was like, before I leave the first time, I was like, Ya Abu Fadl Abbas, I want to come back. Arba'in next year, I want to come and serve. This is what's changed me. This is what's made me who I am. And this service that I am so in love with my religion. I want to come back. And somehow the next year you're there. You don't know how it works.
It's therapeutic, isn't it? That in the giving to others is it's not about yourself and gain. There's nothing you're gaining in terms of, inshallah, in the next world, abundance of blessings. But in this world, it's just such a beautiful, opportunity, tawfiq, to be able to serve others, and the feeling you get. And I think even when we're talking about anxiety, that going to these holy shrines, it's almost like they take your pain away, and they say, sit in our shrine,
Honesty.
Be at peace, and go back to that world that you left behind, and you're rejuvenated.
And leave your pain with me.
Yes, it really.
They take it off you, and then you come back with a clear mind. You can start thinking. Truly, our imams, our blessed people have been left in this world as a miracle. Whether you believe it or not, these people are miracles. Because when you have stress and stuff like that, you want to get away from life. Go hand your phone into Amana, give your stuff there, go sit inside the shrine by yourself. Alhamdulillah, shukr. It's blessings.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. Inshallah, this dua is something that our viewers will find useful, and thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
And inshallah, next up we have Sister Masuma Jafar in hijab and etiquette.